It is currently 12:20 p.m. and I am at 4345. The address for Fairfield Inn by Marriott, 4345 Mission Drive in San Diego, California, and the light source is in its zenith position over the top of my head. It is not to be mistaken with being in anywhere in a position where Orange County could see the sun in this manner or at all. The light source is at the same time 12:19 p.m. as I documented this year, August of 2024, after leaving Best Western on Newport Boulevard. Remember the documentation showing you the specific environment where at that Best Western the so-called sun remained after 4 p.m. at that same entrance. All right, so I've gone to Sherman Oaks, I've gone to Las Vegas, Nevada, I've been on the 15 freeway, the 215 going to and from Nevada, and you've seen everything but speaking to a natural environment where those facts can coexist. This is surveillance in a parking lot, stalking. 9LZC857, a demon maintaining presence in the path, ready to engage in activity creation. In that scientific, amongst that scientific impossibility, that's how you're identifying surveillance and stalking and demons. And I want to be clear, they're in San Diego, and you know who you are witnessing engaging in criminal conduct: the San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department. An engineered light moves across that gate while that demon crosses path. An impossible occurrence, as impossible that the sun would be over my head in this same exact position at the Costa Mesa Police Department, as I documented at 12:19 p.m., where I'm at that Costa Mesa Police Department in Orange County. And I am in San Diego at 4345 Mission Boulevard at 12:19 p.m. And RRYQ64 is documented as a domestic terrorist engaging in a sex offense, monitoring somebody inside of a private space. By the way, as I captured still images this morning, speaking to what was never the sun in Costa Mesa, while it remains over me, all right, that's a demon making noise, stalking in the engineered light. And as I was inside of my hotel room capturing the P.O.C, you saw the vehicle that was parked in the same handicap spot, and you saw through the rear windshield of the vehicle that was parked here. That's called crossing path. And this is the employees of a facilitating venue. That's why they go to federal prison. Okay? The corrupt police departments conspiring to murder and kidnap you shall not work through the people of the state who are engaged in an intolerable level of facilitation. And that's how demons are pacing all around, stalking with audible activity, manning the path, stalking in the environment. I captured the third party that was in the white, I believe that was a Jetta. This demon that was stalking, maintaining presence the entire time, just sitting there, lying in wait, okay? I'm doing so, and you also know that they're all lying in wait because this is not the natural environment. And at 10:42 in the morning, a vehicle that was parked in the handicapped spot, I showed you through that rear windshield the light source. This is vehicles apart from that same parking spot, and it's 12:23 p.m. Not only is this not in Costa Mesa, this is the same exact position of the light source. Okay, doing so in a manner where I'm showing you the ongoing pattern of conduct, and for it to be seen through this light, the light source through this windshield, that's speaking of position that is substantially similar. In other words, not changing. That light source was directly over the top of my head, which is why I captured it in images at 10:42. As we're at the middle of the day, the light source is directly over the top of my head, which is how I'm able to capture it through a windshield in the same exact parking lot, speaking to what is the presence of the light source in San Diego over the top of my head, not at Alvarado Gardens, over my front door, over the top of my head. That's not the sun, that's the light source, where the entity is stalking in helicopters. This is the same property, as you'll recall, the documentation where I have 5 shadows surrounding me, and you saw in the same exact sky space the moon. This is where the sun is, and this is where the moon is, and it's also not possibly the natural environment. Identifying demons, okay? Using whatever they have at their disposal to create audible activity. That's not lawful at all. That's not innocent at all. It's entirely threatening, and it's very psychotic. Very, very psychotic. You're witnessing demonic activity, which the San Diego Police Department and the San Diego Sheriff's Department, who are not under the actual sun, the natural environment, they employ helicopters, as I documented last night, and using the San Diego airports to engage in state surveillance in this specific environment, not the natural environment. This is demonic pacing. Let me get Fairfield by Marriott, the same Marriott Bonvoy, Courtyard by Marriott, Town Place Suites by Marriott, same exact pattern of conduct in the state of California with the corrupt law enforcement agencies who I've exposed. The Los Angeles PD, Sherman Oaks, Courtyard by Marriott, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the Nevada State Police, Courtyard by Marriott in Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, the Monrovia Police Department and the Courtyard by Marriott in Monrovia, California, the same exact P.O.C. There's no sun that's going to be over the top of Courtyard by Marriott in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I exited that hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, where you're looking at the sun is supposed to be in the same position over me at the Costa Mesa Police Department in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Courtyard by Marriott off of Dean Martin Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's also remaining stationary all day long at the Best Western in Newport and Costa Mesa from 10 to 4 p.m. That's how I'm able to capture it at 4 p.m. There's no sun that's going to be over the parking lot at Courtyard by Marriott in Monrovia, California, where you saw the entity stalking. That's how you're recognizing stalking in helicopters, the hallmark, where you're recognizing the demons who are the people of the state group stalking with them, engaging in very terrorizing and highly psychotic methods of stalking, sitting in your vehicle in the specific environment, readily identified as stalking. This is a light source, and this light source is speaking to the identification of, first of all, demon possession, second of all, a malicious system practiced by an entity, and it's demonic, and it's serving for the federal prosecution of the state of California. It's P.O.C. All right, the entity is doing so while I am subject to a sex offense inside of my hotel room, where you're witnessing this phenomenon where there's no sun over the Costa Mesa Police Department, in the same way that this isn't the sun where this demon is using a trash can to cross paths with audible activity. That's speaking to a mental illness as well. All right, the mental illness that causes people to stalk in their vehicles to maintain presence in the path. All right, this entire parking lot documented with regard to the podcast last night, because they were all engaging in what is corporate surveillance, invasion of privacy as an entity, engaging in the pattern of conduct of amplified audible activity, engaging in federal stalking. All of these crimes are relevant to the ongoing ceaseless engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring. And this is under no circumstances a shared environment where you can see the light source through the surfaces, the windows of the vehicles parked here in San Diego, and then somehow the light source itself in its entirety. Just want to, hold on, see this, just so that you can see the light source in its entirety. Let me see where you can see the light source through a windshield again, because this is speaking to, there's no ambiguity regarding the location of this light source. Yeah, there's no ambiguity regarding the location of this light source. It's right here over me at 4345 Mission Boulevard in San Diego, which is why I drove to San Diego. But when you go across state lines, the entity is engaging in what is an insurmountable body of evidence regarding what is not only an unnatural environment, it reveals their condition while they're practicing a criminal system of surveillance in the United States. All right, so San Diego Police, San Diego Sheriff's Department, they're not only corrupt, and that corruption is highly malicious, and it is in concert with the people of the state engaging in the methods that you just saw. What you're witnessing are elements with regard to what is a demonic method of monitoring. Monitoring is demonic. Only people with monitoring spirits, demonic spirits in other words, are monitoring people. With regard to the government's engagement in monitoring, which they use helicopters to engage in monitoring. They're doing so in the scientific environment, amongst the scientific impossibility. This is demonic, that the sun is in any position to remain all day long, because this is exactly where the sun is going to be over the top of my head while I go to the San Diego Police Department, and that is a scientific impossibility. That is the pattern of conduct, however. That's exposing what is a statewide system. And it is also exposing the cockroaches who are masquerading, hiding behind badges, terrorizing, targeting American citizens, and using helicopters to do so. And as they do so, they are going to find themselves in federal prison, in concert with the people of the state who are group stalking all around in relevant position. That's how that system operates, which the Los Angeles Police Department went through a great effort to show that, as I captured it on video for a series of months. There's no point in the day ever that you are engaging in anything other than prosecuting yourself and everybody else when you are engaging in the elements of monitoring under a fake sun, which the LAPD would like to suggest and contend that it's not evidence of their demon possession and that they were not engaged in overt stalking and demonic methods of stalking. They don't have an argument to stand on, a legitimate leg to stand on. This is called crossing a path, and it's called malice and impunity. All right, and as you'll see, the demon possessed do not have a race that's relevant. You're looking at African Americans, the same condition. You're looking at Caucasian. You saw a Latino male engaging in the same exact elements, and they're all sex offenders and they're all stalkers as well. And as you'll witness, the corrupt law enforcement agencies are equally engaged in the pattern of conduct with every single last one of them. All right, so it is currently 12:29 p.m. This is the entity that's engaging in the P.O.C. and doing so at 12:29 p.m. in the middle of the parking lot where the entity is monitoring and asking questions to monitor. I'm going to disregard that. They're engaging in the pattern of conduct in San Diego, California, which is what this is showing. And they're doing so with disregard of the rights, constitutional rights of an American citizen who is exposing it. So I want you to see the light source, which is what I'm going to capture. And it's impossible that the sun was over me at Costa Mesa. That was the light source speaking to the criminal conduct that Mr. Lawrence, as I spoke to in Costa Mesa, was engaging in. All right, this is the P.O.C.